Welcome to Tech Root with Sushil Mehta, your one-stop hub for all things tech. Today, we're peeling back the layers of the cybersecurity onion, exploring the OWASP top 10 attacks. So, without further ado, let's dive into the world of cybersecurity. First off, what is OWASP? OWASP, or the Open Web Application Security Project, is an online platform that creates freely available articles, methodologies, documentation, tools, and technologies in the field of web application security. This non-profit organization is committed to making app security visible and understood, providing resources that aid in the identification, prevention, and mitigation of software vulnerabilities. From seasoned professionals to those just starting their journey, OWASP is a valuable tool for all. Now, let's take a look at the OWASP Top 10 attacks. The OWASP Top 10 is a standard awareness document for developers and web application security. It represents a broad consensus about the most critical security risks to web applications. In the spirit of illuminating these risks, let's delve into the first 5 attacks in the OWASP Top 10 list. First up, we have injection. This is a scenario where an attacker sends harmful data to a web application, tricking it into executing unintended commands or accessing data without proper authorization. With the power to steal data, modify data, or even issue commands to the system, this is a threat not to be taken lightly. Next, we have broken authentication. This is when application functions related to authentication and session management are implemented incorrectly. It allows attackers to either assume the identity of other users or, even worse, gain complete control over a user's account. Moving on, we have sensitive data exposure. This occurs when an application does not adequately protect sensitive information like credit card numbers, health records, or personal details. If these data are not properly encrypted or securely stored, they may be intercepted or stolen, leading to identity theft and fraud. Fourth on our list is XML External Entities, or XASE. This attack happens when an application passes XML input containing a reference to an external entity. This can lead to the disclosure of internal files, denial of service, server-side request forgery, and other serious consequences. Finally, we have broken access control. This happens when restrictions on what authenticated users are allowed to do are not properly enforced. Attackers can exploit these flaws to access unauthorized functionalities or data. For instance, they might change access rights, delete accounts, or view sensitive files. In summary, these attacks exploit weaknesses in data handling, user authentication, and access control mechanisms. They highlight the importance of secure coding practices and a deep understanding of potential vulnerabilities in web application design. Those were the first 5 attacks in the OWASP Top 10 list. Scene script? Let's continue with the list. Next on the list are security misconfigurations, cross-site scripting, insecure deserialization, using components with known vulnerabilities, and insufficient logging and monitoring. Diving right in, security misconfigurations often occur when an application is not securely set up, or its networks, platforms, or hardware have incorrect configurations. This leaves it open to potential attacks, and it's a surprisingly common mistake. Next up, cross-site scripting, or XSS. This is when an attacker injects harmful scripts into a website that's viewed by others. The script then runs in the viewer's browser, allowing the attacker to hijack user sessions, deface websites, or redirect the user to malicious sites. Insecure deserialization is another big one. It happens when an application is tricked into accepting malicious data that leads to arbitrary code execution. This can result in serious attacks, including remote code execution, replay attacks, and injection attacks. Moving on, we have using components with known vulnerabilities. This is pretty self-explanatory. If an application uses components with known vulnerabilities, it becomes an easy target for attackers. It's like leaving your house keys under the doormat. Finally, insufficient logging and monitoring. This is when potential breaches go undetected because of insufficient or ineffective logging and monitoring systems. It's like having a security camera that isn't turned on. And there you have it, the OWASP Top 10 Attacks. In today's video, we went through the OWASP Top 10 Attacks, which are the most critical security risks to web applications. We've delved into the depths of these vulnerabilities, discussing their potential impact and how they can be exploited, from injection attacks to security misconfigurations, from XML external entity attacks to insecure deserialization. We've shed light on how each of these threats can impact web applications. We've also talked about the importance of being proactive in identifying and resolving these security risks. It's clear that understanding and mitigating these attacks is paramount in today's digital landscape. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the world of cybersecurity. Stay tuned for more insightful content here on TechRoot with Sushil Mehta.